Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
People deluded, the man, the myth, you know I'm the shit. People deluded, I'm back again. I hope everyone's in good spirits. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. One love to those of you in the UK. Bank holiday's done. It's time to get the work week going, people. So yeah, festivities are done, or whatever the correct terminology would. It's not just a UK affair. So wherever else you guys are in this world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course good night. As usual, I appreciate the support you lot give me across both platforms, but Twitch in particular, because we start early and end late. On that, you know, we're here from 10:15 till whenever. I go live at 11:30. We'll focus a bit more on Arsenal. At 2:30 on Twitch, people, I'm gonna have Matisse. Obviously, it's Chelsea tomorrow. Chelsea, Arsenal. We're gonna get smacked. Might as well get out the way. It's a tough period for me because we're gonna preview the game now. Man, I'm going to get smacked tomorrow. Thursday, I'm going to be with Ransom Matisse. But it is what it is. You have to hold it sometimes. But on a serious note, big up Matisse for coming through. I'm going to have him from 2:30. I'm going to play Football Manager probably 3:45, 4:30-ish. You know, just get an hour or so in. And then 7:30, obviously, it's Liverpool versus Manchester United. On that topic as well, I'm pretty sure you all saw the news earlier or throughout the night. Unfortunately, Cristiano Ronaldo and his partner have announced the death of their baby boy for whatever reason, obviously due to complications. So thoughts are with them and their family, and anyone that might be triggered from hearing that, you know, I don't need to tell you why, you know, it's upsetting to hear. So thoughts are with him and his family and everybody connected. But yeah, it's Liverpool, Man United. Be doing a watch along for that. It's midweek Premier League action this week as well. So yeah, man, big day of content, big week of content. We're back on it, people. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Obviously, for me, it feels like Monday, but it's Tuesday. In relation to our goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, I wish everyone the best of luck with that. I hope everyone's fit and healthy. Now, we're going to preview the Premier League. Nathan Redmond, and you know, Nathan Redmond has to you know, he's not wrong and he's allowed his opinion. He can say what he wants, but I'm allowed my opinion, innit? Lacazette, you're not safe either. So we're gonna speak about them. Haaland seems to be moving ever closer to Manchester City as well, folks. Morning T, morning CeeLo. Again, I big up all of you lot. But on topic of commitment, every day without fail, more time. All rise for the national anthem. It's a comment. It's the little things, man, you know, especially as a content creator, to know you're providing value and we're building a little community and all them things there. So as usual, appreciate you lot, man. Just keep your shirt on this time. Hey, man. Baby mothers, I can't lie. I don't know. To be fair with you, it was hot, bro. You know acting. You know acting like if you don't go all the way back on my YouTube channel, there's literally, before even live stream was a thing, man's doing videos with no shirt. Bro, man, sit here all day with no shirt on, you know. Man don't like shirts and these things. Like, they used to get on. Bro, so if any of my friends, they know me, I've been getting on to me for years from a young age, man. Even when I was a little skinny, short cunt, like, in school, just back off the shirt, man. Walk around free thing, man. So I like going on holiday. You know, it's horrible. It's really horrible, but I will do that, man. Productive day to all, regardless of what stage you're at and whatnot. Why is Laka taking the piss? Do you know what it is? Yeah, he's not even taking a piss. Pardon my French. You know, it's just really off the comments he said yesterday or what they came out yesterday. And I still maintain what I said yesterday. When I removed the emotion and the Arsenal fan, I think it's a bit cheeky because, you know, it's dead things talking like they're buff and that, but I think it's a bit cheeky coming from Lacazette. But away from that, I can't begrudge you at 30 years of age to want to play in the Champions League and all of those things. It's a bit funky because you're meant to be the captain and all these sort of things. And, you know, when you come out with statements like that, now that I think about it a bit more, it leads us to have a conversation we're having now. I'm a bit like Wenger. Like, for me, you could want to leave a club, have a move agreed, or be eyeing up leaving, but I don't think that should really affect your motivation levels because you're impressing new clients and new people and whatever you're doing. So I'm not questioning Lacazette's commitment, but it leaves the door open. He's not going to be here. Does he really care? Why is the manager building the team around him? You know, the manager gasses him up and that. You know, there's a big song and dance when Lacazette dares to score a goal. You know, you see all how they crowd around him. He's gone 20 hours without scoring a goal from open play. 2 on that note. You know, you have to question your commitment to the project where largely you're busting out. You're basically saying, yo, you man, try to get Champions League. If not, I'm going to try to go on the bench somewhere. Them man there probably end up going Turkey for more reasons than just football. But yeah, you know, it leaves these things open for air, and then it makes you look at Arteta and say maybe this is why there's no motivation. Maybe this is why he isn't scoring. You know, the man there that say, well, maybe if Rashford just focused on, you know, on scoring goals and not feeding kids, he might be all right. It's them sort of comments there that you lead yourself up with Lacazette. And I'm not gonna lie, I just think it's cheap. Like, the more I think about it, the more I sit here and I deep it. Again, he's not wrong. He's not wrong for having ambition. You know, there's no contract here. We know you're talking, and evidently the club clearly said, you know, you can move and you can have the, you know, the club sanctioned the interview, and the club clearly said he can talk to other teams by not giving him a new deal. That is a message, but it's the timing. It's the timing of when it's come out. It's how it's come out, and it's just in light with what's going on. Because I think I screenshotted that. You go back a few months ago, he says, "Oh, Lacazette new deal, Lacazette this, Lacazette that." You know, for what he lacks in scoring, he achieves balance. It was the right decision to get rid of Aubameyang and then use my man. Now it's a drop of the hat. You're now seeing it highlighted: failing to score, failing to shoot, declining player. You know, and now what, you know, the spin on it is, you know, we're failing because of January, and that's at the feet of Lacazette. Again, if you're not being given a new deal, that's one thing, innit? That's I can't begrudge you. In fact, we might as well kick it off now, man. You look, I was trying to gear myself up for it, but you know why why all the emotions are there. So, like I said, I don't think Lacazette is wrong for that. But it's like when you're the key member of the side, it does make me question commitment levels, especially, you know, when you look around the squad. Experienced players at all levels, whether they start every day or every week, or if they don't. You know, Cedric, he come out the other day and said I was close to leaving, but now I'm playing. You know, we know we had offers in January. You know, Lacazette, we've been trying to do a thing there. You know, I'm forcing it, but Eddie's probably been in around the first team more than a couple people that have lapped him. So I'm forcing that one, but you could throw that in. We all know in the summer, Xhaka and Italy is going to be a love affair. You know, there's just question. Aubameyang's gone. You know, the other experienced players have gone. That's been my biggest pet peeve, because if you're doing this youngster thing, you need experienced players that they can look around in times of adversity, because we're us, as you know, if certain men don't play well, we don't win. If Saka, Martinelli, etc. don't do the business, we don't win. And that's a dangerous scenario. As you're seeing now, they've got us to April and now they're dropping off, and you want your experienced players to take over the mantelpiece. You can't believe in no one, respectfully. It's a bit of a mazza. And again, you know, a big part, even Cesc Fabregas, you know, Cesc Fabregas was a youth man doing things at Arsenal, but he's an experienced player helping him. Gilberto Silva, Wenger said you and Vieira can't play together. Let me get Gilberto. Gilberto helped him along. You know, you all remember the run in 06, who set up the Real Madrid goal for Henry? Cesc, but he was surrounded by experience. Cesc then become a leader in his own right. Obviously, Cesc exceptional talent and things, but then we moved away. Emirates era, certain men are gone, certain men are not a thing. What you do with these experienced players sets it up, because they're on big money. They just, you know, they're on big money. You kind of need instant impacts from them, and they're all inconsistent. So when I sit here, I kind of get more pissed off about this Lacazette statement. Not because he said anything wrong. It's the timing. It's going about things, and it makes me look internally. Are we gassing up Lacazette for man to think they're 30? You know, I don't begrudge him for looking at stuff, but I think you're punching. You know, but 20 hours with 0 goals. What club is going to put up with this? You don't even work hard like that for you. So Atletico Madrid's a bit of a myth, really and truly. It's an absolute mazza. You know, and I actually just wrote down some thoughts. I thought, you know, put down some bullet points. You know, Lacazette is basically saying Champions League's our goal, but if you man fail safe, I'm patterning something. You know, as I said, I believe Lacazette and Eddie, just because his contract's running down, are professional. They're not sitting there and going, yeah, I don't care because I'm busting out. But you'd be an idiot. How many of you have had jobs where you hand in your resignation a month before? You might want to finish in the best possible way, but subconsciously you stop doing things to a certain standard. Like, I'm not going to be here. That's someone else's job. Fuck that. You know, anyone chat shit to me, I'm saying what I really feel, you know, these sort of things. And again, it's no dissimilar. These men are human in a working environment away from it being football. That has got to play a part, really. You know, normally when a contract's running down, you see people, you know, this might have been the first year Lacazette scored 20 league goals. It hasn't worked that way. But if I play devil's advocate, has he looked around and said, fuck you, man, I'm catting out. My move is settled already, you know, I'm busting out. There was talk. I don't think the club's given him a deal or offered him a deal, but maybe they've offered one and he said, fuck that. I don't know. I'm waiting and seeing, you know. And I feel when I was reading it, and again, I do think it was a lot of it is out of context and you're seeing a lot of it come out. But I do think technically he didn't say anything about staying. Now, I don't want you to stay because we can't move forward with you beyond you being a squad player and you being that, you know, when you're a kid. Well, in my primary school, anyways, I don't know if it's because my primary school was broke. Obviously, when you go on school trips, you had teachers that come with you, but sometimes they will ask you to bring your you know, your uncle, your auntie, just someone that, you know, that's not funny on funny business that can help look after the youth them. That's the way I see Lacazette. Lacazette might as well do, if we get Europa League, that is your thing. The Europa League group stages, that's you. You're the favorite uncle at the kids' parties where you see we've achieved balance. You're the chaperone. That's Lacazette's thing. But beyond that, it's a myth. We need 2 strikers. So yeah, technically he didn't say anything about staying. So I just think it's a bit cheeky from Lacazette, if I'm completely honest. The more I sit there and think about it, you know, really, again, people can remain professional. And bro, you're an elite troll, because I was just doing some research and a brain tick went off in my head before I come online. I was like, I swear when you signed here, you was talking bossy. Technically, you've won silverware with the club, but Lacazette vows to fire Arsenal to silverware in exclusive interview with Henry. Forget all of that. Big up Henry. Scrolling all the way down, people. No one saying nothing. Just listen. Remember, this is Lacazette saying this. Fair enough, it's 2017, but remember, this is Lacazette saying these things, people. I'm going to try to score lots of goals. No, I am going to score. I am going to try to score lots of goals. No, I am going to score. I am going to score lots of goals. No, I am going to score. Scrolling all the way down. I am going to score goals at key times in games where the team may have struggled in previous years. All right. I'm going to score goals at key times, in games where the team may have struggled in previous years. 5 years later, well gone. Anyways, this, and obviously this is in 2017. So he said, this season I'm going to help this team to win them, and that's what Arsenal have to do to win games and trophies. That's cool. And again, very interesting comments. As a number 9, I have to be there to score goals. How about getting in the box? You know, you do, you know, if you was taking a bus from, I don't know, Edmonton Green to where's the 149 stop? London Bridge. If you want to get to Shoreditch, you have to get on that. If you're going by the bus, you have to get on the bus. You're not on the goal scoring bus. You know, you're running for it, and you're running like an auntie on Tottenham Harold, so you're not gonna get there. Anywho, as a number 9, I have to be there to score goals. But that isn't the only thing. I also participate in build-up play, help my teammates, but above all, it's about scoring goals. Overstated creativity, overcompensating over the fact that if you don't score goals, and it is all about scoring goals, where you've done none of that. Allow it, man. There are games where the striker will be useful for the team in terms of creating space and being involved in the game, trust me, without necessarily scoring, but will have played an important role for the team. Something Arsenal fans, the club, and everybody overcompensated with. We bet on Lacazette. We bet on the need for Lacazette to score goals to not really be that deep, because other people have been doing it. And throughout the course of this season, this guy's missed penalties, he's missed chances, especially during our unbeaten run or winning run, better yet, and nobody gave a crap. But you knew once form dropped, once people stopped scoring goals, and I'm going to look at, man. But if you stand for nothing, you're fooled by everything. And I think, you know, a small section of our fan base that sat there and got scared about Tavares starting after saying he's the best fullback at the club, you know, saying Marie is better than Gabriel, you know, Smith Rowe and Odegaard can't play together, or don't sign Odegaard, you know, Lacazette give him a new deal, El Nene give him a new deal, you know, overcompensating with Xhaka. There's a special part of our fan base that's on bullshit. But I'll be real with you, you know, he's not wrong with what he said, but it's very interesting that in 2022, I know some of you are having some thoughts, but of course, over the course of a season, I have to score goals, as that's what statistics reflect. This from the horse's mouth, you know. He scored 37 goals in what proved to be your final year at Lyon. Brazy. You know, you said Arsenal historic club, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to see if there's any more receipts. No. All I've seen is passion merchant, bro. Like, allow it. I can't get onto you if you don't say these things. You know, I'm only dealing. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was there for a second. I fell asleep. But you're seeing what this is what the Donny's saying. You know, I can't get onto you if you don't open your mouth. Trust me, man. We're dropping their knickers for Lacazette, and he's doing the banduli. Above, don't worry. You know, Nathan Redmond ain't wrong, but we're drawing him out as well. Trust me. Onto him, bro. Man, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. He's moving mad. Twanging these, man. Lacazzette's moving like a dude that's working his notice. He knows he's soon gone and ain't giving the manager 150. I think it's a bit of that, but I just think he's just shit now. Like, it's one of them ones. Bro, Lacazette's my guy, you know. That's why I'm onto him. Like, bro, the more I sat down and thought about this, it's not that you've said anything, Colas. It's like, come on now. Once again, like, if you listen, because I couldn't believe my eyes, people. I am going to try to score lots of goals. Now I'm going to score. He opened his mouth and said that. I am going to score goals at key times in games where the team may have struggled in previous years. When's he done that? Well, you know, as a 9, I have to be there to score goals, but that isn't the only thing. I also participate in build-up play, help my teammates, but above all, it's about scoring goals. And if you can't do any of that, to all of it, you know, you start overcompensating. Man, don't talk about just Harry Kane's creativity. Can't man score goals? Man, don't talk about certain things with certain strikers because they're going to score goals as well. And I don't want to use the Spurs lad. Big Lacazette is not wrong in anything he said here. He's not wrong in a lot of things, but he's allowed to say what he wants. As for Mr. Nathan Redmond, where you're not wrong. Long story short, he just said Arsenal are not very good, and he's right. You know, he's right. We're not compared to what we used to be. We're on a decade. But for you, you know, I've got heat for you. You can twerk for them Southampton fans, you know, as much as you want. And I can't lie to you. Do you know why I agree? And he's not nothing wrong. Who better to tell who is better qualified than to tell a team or a player that they're not good enough, they're underperforming, or they're not very good? Then I like-minded folk at 28 years of age. Fair enough. You've done everything that we'd love to do. You've played Premier League football. You're a one-cap wonder for your country. But I would think, considering someone that cannot get into a Southampton team that's really struggles to score goals or really struggles to keep clean sheets, your contract's up at 28 years of age. I would face my front and deal with what I'm dealing with. If I'm completely honest with you, I'd calm it all the way down, Mr. Nathan Redmond. You know, in the shittest Arsenal team, you do not get into it. Like, this is the fucked thing. Like, I will calm it all the way down. You're right in what you're saying, but you know, it's a bit like Lacazette. It's always the dead shooters. It's always the dead things that are talking. You know, big up Southampton. I never Fraser Foster ain't chatted nothing. Ward Prowse ain't said a thing. Shit, Carl Walker-Peters, who's a Spurs lad, he didn't say a thing. But the guy who did nothing in the game, the guys who do the least damage, it's like them gangbangers who are on fuck all that do the most talking, that amp up the thing, and by themselves they're not on nothing. You need to think about what new contract you're getting, because you know, you might fall somewhere, but it's just nothing's a benefit really and truly. And if I scroll all the way down for Mr. Nathan Redmond, you're correct. Like I said, you're very correct. The real G's in Broya, Livramento, Fraser, they ain't say nothing. The shooters didn't say nothing. It's the empty barrels. The empty barrels make the most noise. Empty barrel like your shooting boots. You don't know what a goal is. 28 years of age, the only thing you've done is go bold. Bit like Lacazette. Guess there's something in common with chatting shit. You know, in 430 career appearances, 367 in the top 2 flights in Championship in the Prem, you've got 51 goals. Again, the least clinical man love to chat. So big up to you, a Premier League footballer, charity cap, much like Lacazette, your contract is up. So let's just rein it in a bit, people. As I said, it's great. You're right in what you said, but I agree with what you said, Redmond, because there, you know, if there was ever somebody more qualified to speak on a club or a player's underperforming, stealing a living, it's Mr. Nathan Redmond. So shout out to Mr. Nathan Redmond, man. You're fully right in that. That's that where Lacazette and Nathan Redmond are, you know, two shit guys. Anywho, away from any of that. So yeah, that's a segment done on them. Lacazette is cheeky. Sorry, I'm making a timestamp. Lacazette cheeky. It is what it is, bro. 20 goals in 200 games, bro. That man there, bro. That man, you can't even, bro. You're twerking for Southampton. The fans don't overrate you. The manager don't overrate you. You know, you're a dickhead. You think I don't remember you Victory Shield Gate days with Raheem Sterling and that? Look what Raheem Sterling and all them other men have done. What have you done? And the Southampton bubble's going to burst soon. But big up to you, man. G, I appreciate you for obviously subscribing. In my opinion, you should keep Lacazette for depth and bring Suarez on a 1 year just for experience. I don't know why they're always sending for. This is why Arsenal need to improve. Bare shit, man. They're always sending for us, forcing the beef, man. Man said, I'm getting ready for Europa. Anything above that, I'll be surprised. I'm getting ready for 8th again, car. It's moving mad. It's peak. Them manifest self-help books didn't bank. Oh man. Big up you lot, man. But yeah, that's them lot. Let's go and see what some real football news for some real footballers are doing, man. Obviously, it's the Premier League this week, people. Tomorrow we'll focus on Chelsea, Arsenal. In fact, we won't, because at 2:30 on Twitch I'll have Matisse. But I'm just wary of. I'm just gonna keep repeating the same and the same and the same. I can't lie to you, man. I think United might pull a shocker against Liverpool. I don't want that to be the case. I want Liverpool to, in fact, well, I don't care who wins the league or who wins in general, but with the top four in debate, if United are able to twang 6 points this week, next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, today, and obviously off the back of Norwich, they're living in it. I can't lie, it's a big one for Liverpool. They smacked City in the FA Cup. They've got their FA Cup final booked. They've got Villarreal to come, so now they can focus on the league. And if they don't take 3 points, it's a massive knock. Again, surprises might happen, but you'd back Man City at home to Brighton to win. Just going over everything, you've got Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton, Leicester, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Manchester City, Brighton. On Thursday, you have Burnley, Southampton. So obviously today is a big one. I imagine Mo Salah finally gets his scoring boots back on. There are a couple players missing by United. Apparently, Fred might not be involved. Again, in light with what's happened with Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't know if he'll be involved. It's best he takes time off, bro. Even if sometimes the best medicine can be not that anything can make up for losing a loved one, and especially obviously a child in it, and a young child as well. And for him, it could be the best escape, playing ball and that. And I think it's going to sound cliche, but it's another way of, you don't know what footballers are going through, leave them alone sort of thing. And that might be good for Ronaldo, his wife, innit? I don't know. His wife might be feeling lonely. She might want a bit of comfort. His little kids might want to as well. So, in the grand scheme of things, what is top four or Man United, Liverpool to family in it is probably best. I can't tell someone how to grieve or what to do, but I'd imagine he's not involved. I don't know if he's involved, but he could be in it. It is what it is. Don't forget, on the topic of Liverpool, Man United, across Twitch and YouTube, I'll be live at 7:30 as well, folks. So yeah, man, I hope Liverpool win if it comes to it, because we're fighting for top four, slim Arsenal hopes. But I don't know, man. It's nothing to do with necessarily Liverpool or United or even Man City, Brighton. It just feels like we're in that period of the season where the dodgy things are going to start happening. The dodgy things are going to start happening, if I'm completely honest with you. So if I had to bet money, I'd say 2-0 Liverpool. I don't think they're going to smack them. I think they'll be quite humble, but I need to see Anfield making bare noise. I need to see, Klopp's going to be onto them, innit? I really like how Klopp always kind of heeds that, you man ain't accomplished nothing. Even the stuff that we've won and what we're doing, get it out, just enjoy the win, but we go again sort of thing. And I think Liverpool, that's one thing I can probably guarantee there'll be a reaction. For United, somewhat their strength in being an underdog. People expect you to get smacked, expect you to get hit for a cricket score. I wouldn't say people quite expect the same thing as last time, but people expect the same as last time. So use that to your advantage. Everton, Leicester. I mean, Leicester can't hold on to winning leads, and can't really buy a clean sheet. For Everton, boy, they need to win, innit? They're fighting to stay in the league. Eddie Howe, listen, if Klopp somehow picks Pep to it, I think he's my manager of the year. If Arteta somehow was to get top four, then I think he's a candidate. Probably lost it now with what's happened now already. I think Eddie Howe deserves. I don't know if he should win it, but he should definitely be up there. When he took over at Newcastle, it looked like them man are on the Norwich thing and the Watford thing, like they're gone, and he's done quite well. To say quite well is an understatement. I think he'd get there. I think, semi-final in the FA Cup and what they're doing in the league. Not that the FA Cup's necessarily relevant to the Premier League, but Vieira's got to be thrown into that. So, yeah, man. Newcastle Crystal Palace is due to be a lit one. You'd imagine City beat Brighton, and Brighton, after smacking both North London clubs, you know, they should be full of confidence and able to pull off a shocker, but they probably concede, you know what, we dealt with the two North London boys. Losing to City isn't the worst of things. Arsenal, Chelsea, again, I don't want to keep saying the same things, but I've got, pardon me, I think we're going to get smacked. I'll be real. I want to be wrong. I'll be real. I'll bite your hand off for a point. I think we're holding 3-4. I just think you're feeling sorry for yourselves. You can't buck them German managers and feel sorry for yourselves. We're not playing well. All this talk about reaction, haven't seen it. You know, not looking like a team that has turned around their season and fighting for Europe. There's no firepower in the team. Apart from the young players, I don't think it's going to be pretty. You know, 0 wins from a potential 9, 0 points, from a potential 9. It could be 0 from a potential 12. I've got no faith in. I want to be wrong. I'm not trying to be negative, but I can't sit here and cap like you lot don't, specifically Arsenal. You man don't look like you believe in yourselves. The only thing I would say is that Chelsea look like they can concede goals despite what they've been doing. You know, but we don't look like a team that can score goals. So. What more are you going to say on that, isn't it? Like, Charles, this is probably going to be one of them ones. To be fair, Moyes, if he wins Europa, but then again, it's about what you're doing in the league, isn't it? Kinda. And if they don't get top 4, he ain't really done nothing in the league like that. He deserves his praise, and Moyes is doing bits. Therefore, hail him up and that. But yeah, man, I would have Vieira. I mean, if he got champs, then fair play. But I'd personally have Eddie Howe, Vieira. You know, between Klopp and Pep over my man. Men behind the ball, but these men are soft. We might as well switch to a back three, man. Back three. Shit, I can't lie, man. Might as well do the scumbag thing. Back three. El Nene, Xhaka, Lokonga. Slap that all in there. Just bare builders in the midfield. Just bare builders in the midfield, man. You sound like a you problem. I don't think I'm on mute, bro. It's crazy, man. Can't lie, man. You lot killed my vibe slightly, you know. I'm sitting here and thinking more and more about Chelsea's game against us. We're gonna get dealt with, but I can't even cap. We're gonna get this dislodged. Really and truly, man. But we can't even park a bus, bro. You can't park a bus when you're like that. And to be fair with you, in the Prem, more time teams look rattled when you have a goal, innit? Like, we might as well have a goal. Really. You know, you sit back against that low block, we're gonna get ripped. I mean, try to do the low block thing. We're an improved defensive side. We're not a good one. You might as well have a go. Something that I haven't seen in the last 3 games. Fucking have a go, man. Like, just have a go. Because again, you know, it's how do I make it make sense? It's not the fact that you've lost. Obviously, it is, but it's how you lose. And teams don't have to be at their maximum to beat us. Like, you know, if you beat Liverpool, if you beat City, if you beat a couple of teams that aren't necessarily where they are, you had the kind of fight to do that. Like, you didn't, it weren't easy sort of thing. We're just, here you go. Have it. We've been all right. You know, we was all right for 40 minutes. We conceded the goal in the 45th and then 44th. And then after that, we were the better team. But apart from conceding the goal, we did all right. That's how certain man move. It's crazy. Because listen, out of the 3 games we've lost recently as an Arsenal fan, I'm the least pissed off with the Southampton one. It was just flat, uninspiring, resigned to defeat, people looking out their depth. A squad, a starting 11, a subs bench that was the consequence of maybe not even just January and the obvious that happened in January, but also the summer. I hope so, bro. I hope so, but the young G's, them, like, I can't lie. You've got us to this point, innit? Like, I'm not even really onto them. Saka, Martinelli, Smith, obviously everybody's help, but you've got us to this point. I'm looking at the experienced ones, and certain men are doing fuck all and just, you know, if only Lacazette would, you know, look how clinical he was in his press, in his comments off the field. If only he was that sharp and that precise on it, we might have some goals. I'm already asking for 10 league goals. Pookie's fucking done it. You know, Granit Xhaka, it is what it is. He is what he is, but it's just, yeah, man can't believe in you. You're not a bad player, not necessarily a good one. It's just I don't believe in you. Arsenal fans tried to rewrite history with Cedric. Even when Cedric plays well, he's still stressed. You know, looks like everybody's going through a bit of a wobble. Ben White is showing his level of experience. Slightly even Ramsdale as well. You know, Tavares, Lokonga ticking time bombs at this moment in time. Saka, Martinelli learning to score goals, not clinical. And I think in the last 3-4 games, you've seen Smith Rowe miss a couple chances. Martinelli and Saka within the first 16 minutes against Southampton should have scored. But these men are still in the apprentice, as good as they are. And as much as we're doing this youngster thing, they're in the apprenticeship stages of their careers. It really does pee me off that, you know, it's big up the young players, but bro, man can't. It's not fair to them, bro. And this is why. Like, I'll always have faith in my team. The beautiful thing is, until somebody scores, you have a 50% chance of winning, or technically less than 50%, because winning, drawing, and losing are all potential outcomes. But you get the point. But the way man playing, you know what it is? It's not even necessarily the Chelsea. Chelsea are a great team. Like, we could sit here and waffle about Chelsea for time. It's nothing to do with Chelsea. Same way it was nothing to do with Southampton, Crystal Palace, or Brighton necessarily, for all the praises and whatnot. It's what we're doing. It's what I see when I look into you lot's eyes, when I look at you lot in training, when we do get to see it, when I see you lot talk in press conferences and then move like this. You man don't want it. You man are not. It's not even a good enough team. You man not got no desire. Some of you are just soft underbelly. Some man can't fight. Some man don't want to fight. Some man don't know how to fight. Some man's fighting's capped because they probably know they're busting out. I'm looking at the gaffer and saying, why are you playing half of these youths, you know? And then on the other hand, why am I saying, why are you playing these youths that their heads are elsewhere? Because you got no one fucking else in the team, innit? Crazy. Just let Eddie be in the box the whole game and a chance will come. Sure, I look forward to Eddie and Katie hitting the post or the crossbar or falling over his laces. Great stuff. You know, Easter's done. More luck waiting for the Easter Bunny. More likely to see Santa Claus come in April than see Eddie score against Chelsea. I'd hold my hands up if I'm wrong. But experience has to be relative, and it only matters if you're good. Like, if you're shit, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, look at Luka Modric. Everyone's saying fine wine, 36. Bro, if he looked like a typical 36-year-old average player that gets to that age, bro, it means F all. Big up yourself, T, as well, man. Went over the Redmond thing. He's just chatting shit. Well, he's not saying anything wrong necessarily. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli are gassed out. Now is the time for senior players to step up, which they haven't done. Trust. And now I'm asking for, you know, if this was a Wenger thing, you know, you would see someone like Pepe just I'm not saying we'd do a Mazda, but you would see a decent bit of form. Now, I look at the experienced players, the people you got trust in. Lacazette saying, fam, I'm not going to lie, you got rid of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I've had to find a new shot. I'm trying to bill it and go to the Champions League. Partey's bust out, getting injured. Tierney's a flight risk. Granit Xhaka, it is what it is. Cedric's a dud. You know, El Nene's not even a thing at this moment in time. This is what it is, isn't it? So, yeah, man. Bro, the wickedest thing is I can't see where the win is coming from when you lot move like this. Like, this is why I'm so happy that early today we'll be doing a neutral watching them. You know how happy I'd be, and some of you always say it, you know, they're like, these are so different on the neutral watch-alongs than the Arsenal ones. Like, yeah, come on, enjoy football. I don't necessarily enjoy watching my team sometimes, especially when we're moving like how we're moving. Absolutely crazy, man. I see us getting smoked tomorrow, but it could get like that. What frustrates all of us, I guess, is Arteta being stubborn with the tactics. You know, risk averse at the wrong time. Like, he takes risk at this. The one thing about it, you take risk when there's no need, and when there's time to take a bit of risk, you revert to type. So an inability to navigate those strong, them steady currents as a sailor. Players, well, we've been discussing all the various layers of issues there in it. So it is what it is. This is why in the summer we need 2 strikers and 2 midfielders. Seeing man pinning their hopes on them, and they, brother, trust me, it's a squad game. And I've got no sympathy for Mikel Arteta in that regards. I've got sympathy for, you know, if you tried to bring people in, they didn't come, the owner's not giving you peas, but you bet on this squad. You know, you lot tried to do the bravado thing in January. We all knew that, you know, on one hand, you know, we had the sunshine. Aubameyang's doing well. We're doing well. Now Barca are losing. We're losing. Certain men are not scoring. Certain man's lack of scoring is being highlighted because the other dons are not scoring. We knew this. It don't shine forever. If the sun shines forever, you know, there's going to be famine. Crops are going to dry out. If it rains, crops are not going to grow. There's going to be good or bad periods. And again, I'm not being funny, but even through my experience of sitting here on YouTube, nothing changes but the years and the players. We keep saying the same things, like again and again. And for some Arsenal fans specifically, it's like I sit here and do this YouTube and Twitch thing for you week in, week out. It's genuinely like you ain't been watching football because have you not seen how this script goes more time? Like when you're underprepared, especially as an Arsenal fan. If Arteta has this kind of season next year, do we sack him? It all depends where you finish because, as I said, when we was winning games, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th are all possibilities. For me, if you don't finish top 6, regardless of the rebuild and all of these things, if you don't get top 6 finish, you need to go in it. Like if you get top 4, I think you should get a new deal because that's overachieving somewhat. If you get top 6, we're probably there about. It's a failure to not get Europe, Champions League specifically, but we're there in it. That was probably the minimum sort of thing. If you don't do any of that, like 7th, 8th, you need to go. I'm sorry, you have to go for all of the rebuild and all these things. Like I don't doubt Arteta's potential and stuff, but we're not a work experience thing. You know, we have a project, and then if you can't find a manager who can do this young thing and whatnot, because I think he's got a lot with him. But he's not the only guy that could do this. I can't sit here and bring a million guys, but you know, if Arteta has just become a manager, if you're moving like he's the only one, there's issues. It's a results-driven business, and whether Kroenke cares or not, boy, you will start feeling it in your bank balance if you fuck about. That's the only place he can. That's why Emre went. Their man wanted to give him a new deal. Fans said, "Fuck that, we're not going to games," and then they got cold feet. It's ridiculous. You know, even if I scroll up, like, wasn't top 4 meant to be the aim the following season after what? When did Arteta come? 1920. Last year was meant to be fighting for top 4, if I remember correctly. Even look at here, people. You know, if I remember correctly, I remember when David Ornstein said this. Respectfully. The Arsenal board, sorry, people, this was December 2019, right? So that was 1920. So we're almost 2 seasons on. The next season, they said this season, respectable finish, blah, blah, blah. So far, Arteta's installed a culture. Technically, we're challenging for Europa. Respectable position is subjective, which for me, it starts and stops at 4th to 6th. Anything else is not respectable. Next season, you know, which was the season where he finished 8th in his first full year. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He didn't do that. So this season, there should be pressure. There is no pressure on Mikel because they, you know, and in terms of the long term, he's probably doing enough just to hit his pass grades. That's why, unless it goes really bad, he's not getting sacked. Obviously, if you keep losing games, there's not enough pressure, if I'm completely honest. Or you don't do certain things in August. I mean, in January, whether the club tell you there's funds or not. If you can't bring people in, don't let them go. I'm not saying you're right or wrong to let them go. I'm just saying, for me, Arteta doesn't seem to have a risk-averse plan half the time. So, boy, I can only go on what you said. And when you sit here and say, we don't want to finish 4th, we want 3rd, 2nd, 1st, team like Arsenal should be challenging for this, that, and the other, and you do certain things, it makes me look at you very funny, Carl. Respectfully, you're having me on. You're taking a piss out of me. You're chatting shit to me. Respectfully. Not making sense now, is it? It's a crazy one, but sure. Look at West Ham and David Moyes. He came in same time as Arteta, spent much less than him, and can get a Champions League before us if West Ham win the Europa League, which I think they will. To be fair, I do think there's been a culture installed. I do think I'll give him that. He's been allowed to do the hardline approach thing, etc., etc. But that's where it stops for me because you should do that. You know, if you want to be a sick man, any manager, clear. Eddie Howe's gone into Newcastle. Yeah, you might not see a bag of like you're not making a big song and dance about getting a bag of Newcastle legends, but you should do that. Like you want, you know, you lot are doing stupid things. Let's do something else. Let's change the way we think. You should do that. You should have more consistency in your lineup. You should play players in their right positions. You know, there's certain things. You know, just are we trying to do this Arsenal thing or this Arteta thing? I'm not saying he should or shouldn't go. I'm just saying when you're doing well, you deserve all the praise, as you did in previous weeks. When it's kind of gone down the toilet, I have to look at you and say, yo, what's going on? You know, I can say, yeah, okay, cool. On one hand, we wasn't targeted this in August, but then at the same time, you know, we can't just sit here and act like it's not a failure from the point top four became a real thing for accelerating progress. For, you know, Arteta's even said it in little indirect ways that the where you finish can kind of dictate who you bring in. You know, the finances for the owner. You, if you don't care about the club, you'll get fucking bloody money because we're in the Champions League. It's crazy, man. Doesn't help that we have Edu as well. Propaganda from Fabrizio saying he's one of the best at his job in Europe. But he might be. But man just want you to be the best for Arsenal. And right now, man can't see it in it. You know, it does feel like with Arsenal, with Arteta's tactics, with the club, unless unless you're this mad footballing oracle, you're naive or you're ignorant or you don't know what you're talking about. You know, because Arsenal, you can't see it. It's not for us simpletons. But the great thing about football is a simple game. Chelsea have been bare erratic. Look at the Brentford situation. I hear that, but it's got nothing to do with us because we'll find a way to stink up the place. And I don't blame anything on Arteta, but at the same time, you know, you took the role. Like it has to, you have to. No pressure, no accountability. Arteta hasn't done the hard yards as a manager for me. Can we afford to allow him the time to do, for example, what Vieira did at Nice? Probably not. Like probably not. You know, he probably needs to go on. I do think generally in football, we'll get to a stage where managers are going out on loan. I do think that's something that might need to be considered, man. Because as I said, at the times that you don't need to take risk, he's taking risks. When you need to take risks, you're not taking risks. You know, I do think you're an elite planner, but spanners are thrown into the works. There's a lack of adaptability and accountability and whatnot. You know, a bit too blasé in the press conferences with me. You know, it's almost like you sound like a fan, really, at times. Like it when he says little things here. But yeah, you didn't talk about injuries 2 weeks ago. Yes, because no one was injured 2 weeks ago. Like, come on. You knew he was playing a dangerous game, man. Fans are out there saying, oh, there was no striker to buy in January, which there wasn't. But listen to what you're saying. Again, you would think Arsenal, there's only one player in the world for us, you know, really. At least not to bring in a midfielder. Like, fans have to listen to themselves. Certain Arsenal fans talk about, oh, if you look at the metrics, where, you know, we've had a lot of chances, we've just not put them in. So if we sign an elite striker, we'll score more goals. Yes, that makes sense. Of course, 100%. But we're barely creating chances. We're not doing anything with possession. I don't care what these statistics don't say. Looking with my fucking eyes, we're not creating shit. Like, come on. It's got to the point where clearly a number 8 and a number 9 will make a massive difference at this football club. But we'll sign a striker and how are they going to cook? We don't create bare chances a game. Even when we was winning games, we was barely creating chances. Then we started creating stuff and we weren't able to correlate it to shots and shots on target. You look at Liverpool, they'll have 100 shots or whatever, exaggerating, and score 2 goals. Football's a massive game like that. If you have 5 shots and 2 on target, you're less likely to score. You know, Partey and I think, you know, our centre halves have had more of the ball than our midfielders. Partey's had more shots than Lacazette. Come on, listen, I'm not as smart as you lot. I'm not as smart as some of these people I said. I'm definitely not as smart as Arteta and the manager. But what I know is them sort of things don't sound like good reading for a football club that's trying to score goals. If you can't score 20 league goals minimum as a striker, then or 15 now because it's getting tougher, I drop that. If you're not able to score something from 70 to 100 goals, exaggeration, you're probably not a shoo-in for top 4, 3, second, third, fourth, etc., etc. We've got no mavericky players. We've got players who can't really. The young ones are the mavericky ones and whatnot, excluding them. No talisman, no mavericky dons that talk about leadership in interviews. On the pitch, you look like a wet dog. You know, you look like a fox. You know, cowards at times. People that think they've achieved something. People that think they've achieved something that they've turned up. It's crazy, man. You know, chance creation stats, shots on target. You know, failing to come back from behind. Holding on to leads, game management, things that are more relevant have improved, but they're not levels. Come on. And this is why I get so vexed at Arsenal fans, because there's fans that just misery loves company. There's fans that are just miserable about everything. There's fans, like I said, that are toxically positive, start talking about expected goals and all these things. I'm sorry, but neither are right. Sorry, people, man. I just zoned out about Arsenal and a mad thing. I can't lie to you. I'm so sorry. But everybody that knows to get, you know, well, you're saying have to go low block, back three, and hope we shake a goal like last time. True. But everyone that knows Arsenal knows, you know, you either do it two ways against us. You either let us get excited, start attacking you, and then you hit us on the break, or low block. You have low block against us, half the job's done, and just pick your moment like a boxing match. Don't come out and try and punch us up straight away. Let us do our thing, and then hit us like you see the counter attack with Brighton. The second goal that, you know, in fact, the build up to the penalty at Crystal Palace, the second goal, the first game, all of them really, you know. Southampton, it's come against the run of play because they've counter attacked one a corner. We've not cleared our lines properly. Crazy. Brazy stuff, man. Don't forget, I'm live at 11:30 on Twitch and YouTube, people. There's always players, bro. And especially if you, bro, I'm not being funny, but if the striker's job is just to run around and work hard, bro, you're telling me there's not millions of little young G's that play like Lacazette somewhere that you can find? Allow it, bro. Allow it, fam. And then they say there was no money. Then there's bare piece for Vlahovic. Like, none of it makes sense, bro. 16th for big chance. I don't even believe this big chances and chances missed, because, man, what is a big chance and what is a big chance missed? But still, any creative stat, we're not there. Goals and assists were not there, you know. Salah is 20 league goals deep for all his bad form. I look at that as a reflection of Liverpool. Yeah, Salah takes bare chances and he's lit, but Liverpool create. Liverpool want to score. So their man there are going to end. Individual players are going to end up among goals and assists, whether that's Trent, whether that's whoever. You know, we ain't got that. None of our dons, apart from Aubameyang, none of them are near top goal scorer. None of them are near assists. Smith Rowe was for a second and we were winning games. None of them are near them sort of things there.